What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. First of all, I want to say I hope everybody had a really good Christmas. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your time with your friends, your family, or doing whatever you want to do on that day. I really wanted to put out a video on Christmas, which actually fell on a Sunday. You guys know I put out videos every Sunday. I really missed the boat. I really messed up not putting one out that day because I had tons of Christmas horror films I wanted to talk about, but to be quite honest, as you guys know, I had COVID about 2 weeks ago, and the doctors say, the effects can linger. And though there were certain days I felt better, Christmas Eve and Christmas, I felt absolutely terrible. Just laying in bed, just sweating and farting. It was a complete mess. You guys wouldn't have wanted to see that anyways. One of the worst Christmases I've had in a really long time because of that. I couldn't even really enjoy the time with my family. I mean, though I did, not like I would have liked to. I'd say the biggest positive of Christmas Day, besides breathing, is, watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on 4K. That was really great. Love that. But anyways, to the video at hand here, this is a horror movie collection update. I was kind of debating on if I was going to do this or not, because if you're new to my channel, or if you've been around, either way, you guys know, or maybe don't know, that I like to do a complete horror movie collection video every single year on the 1st of January. It just kind of became the day that I do it. So tomorrow at noon, I'm going to show you guys my whole collection of Blu-rays and 4Ks, all my horror, easily over 500 titles. Excited to share that stuff with you. It's going to be a long video, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But as for today, like I said, I didn't know if I want to do an update on my horror collection because I'm going to do one tomorrow. But I actually have 15 titles here I want to show you guys. So I figured, I like to document this stuff and get it out there. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's see all the films I picked up in the month of December. Now, first and foremost, this is a Vestron video. I don't know why I said it like that. Vestron video Blu-ray collection, Silent Night, Deadly Night collection, 3 through 4. Now, these movies, if you're familiar with them, are very strange, very odd. Part 3's decent, Part 4 is garbage, and Part 5 is one of the most absolute batshit crazy movies you'll ever see. Vestron does some of the best stuff around, and for $12, honestly, pretty much any site you go to, $12. Look at that cover art, the slip. Unbelievable deal, especially if you own Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 or 2 through Scream Factory. I am a completist with my collection, so it was very nice to pick this one up. Okay, next up is a movie I actually planned on reviewing during Christmas. I finally pulled the trigger and bought Krampus, the Scream Factory 4K. Now, this is one of the first 4Ks they actually put out. Once again, amazing cover art, slipcover, blah, blah, blah. But to be quite honest, guys, I was going to review this, like I said, but I kind of didn't like this movie. I thought it kind of sucked. Like, I like some comedy elements in it, some character development. Just didn't do it for me, and the ending fell flat, So, either way, good movie, but, I don't like to shit on films, so I didn't review it. Okay, now here is one through Visual Vengeance. Now, at one point in time, I thought I was going to pick up every single Visual Vengeance title. It just seemed right, the first time I've been there for like a startup of like a label that's doing something really, really cool. But in time I realized I'm not going to do that. They put out a lot of shot on tape stuff. But this one I had to pick up. This is Heartland of Darkness. Now this is known as the Lost Linnea Quigley movie. And you guys know on this channel we are big fans of Linnea Quigley. She is the absolute best. And I just had to pick this one up. I still haven't watched it yet, obviously, still in the seal, but yeah. Linnea Quigley. Now, a couple that I did watch, I'm a big fan of documentaries, in case you guys didn't know. I think drama movies might be the best type of films made, just because, like, the emotions they can draw out. But I pretty much like horror, comedy, then documentary in that order. And this is one of the best horror documentaries I've ever seen. Though I would like this would have been way cooler if they would have like re-released the original It and put this as a special feature, because I digress. But this is Pennywise, the story of It. This is a almost 3-hour documentary, I believe, about all the history of the original It miniseries that kind of gets showcased as a entire film these days with Tim Curry and everything. This is great because this is one of the few documentaries where they get pretty much everybody that was involved in the film. I can't say everybody, but lots of people, lots of insight. Just a really fun one. I will put this up with Never Sleep Again or what was the Camp Crystal Lake Memories? Those two. This is one of the better horror documentaries. Oh, and the Return of the Living Dead documentaries, obviously the best. Now, here's another documentary I watched. Not the best, kind of thrown together in my opinion, but I really enjoyed this. This is the history of metal and horror. Now, I'm not the biggest metal guy in the world. I pretty much like every genre of music. I don't like techno or a lot of country, but I'd like some kind of metal, and it was kind of fun to see a lot of these like horror icons talk about horror and how horror writers or actors kind of like incorporated certain stuff into their acts or directing or how they did things. So just overall kind of fun stuff, something fun to put on in the background. Okay, so these next movies I'm going to go through really quick because I talked about all these on my Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday unboxing video. So we got Mutant Hunt, Evil Laugh, Deathcember, and Invisible Maniac. Now, I went through those quick because you can look at my video, like I said, to see my opinion on some of these films, talking about them. But I will say something about this, because I'm never going to review this movie. It just probably will never happen. But there was a big deal going on online about like this lenticular, like see-through slipcase. In case you guys don't know, if you're like a casual fan of horror, slipcases and slipcovers can go for so much money, which is crazy. The only slipcover I ever bought in my life was for Return of the Living Dead through Scream Factory. I bought it online just because it's my favorite movie, so I wanted the slip. And then they put out the 4K. But it's funny how so many people are fighting over this film. First time released on anything but VHS. I'm going to tell you guys, Invisible Maniac fucking sucks ass. This movie was so bad. I mean, if you like Microwave Massacre, this might be up your alley. But that movie's... They're both bad. The invisible guy, the laugh he has alone is the most like overacted kind of like, hey, why don't you laugh like an evil villain but amp it up 1,000 times to be obnoxious? It's like that alone, I will never watch the movie again. And the only thing I'll say is good about this, I wouldn't even say the nudity is good about this, because I mean, shit, you can watch any movie and see that, if that's the selling point. I'd say the ending is pretty clever, where the killer switches body. He's invisible. He goes invisible to frame the guy that came to confront him about killing all the people. I don't know. I'd say you need to watch it, but don't. It was bad. That's the thing about Vinegar Syndrome. They put out so much good stuff, but like putting shit inside like a fucking golden box or something, and we'll buy it. We'll keep buying it because, physical media collectors. All right, let's go on to some positives. Now, here's a movie. There's certain films I got here that I own on DVD that I waited to upgrade, and this is one of them. I didn't ask for anything for Christmas. I'm a grown man. I buy my own shit, but my family's really into Christmas. They love it, and I feel like I gotta just tell them a couple of things I want, or they're just gonna get me random shit that's just gonna sit around that I'll never use. So, might as well get some use out of it. So when I was asked what I wanted, I said, let me get The Shining on 4K, and that's what I got. So this was my Christmas gift for my family. I own this twice over on DVD. This is one that's been lacking on my Blu-ray shelf. I gotta have this one. It's an essential. I don't really know how the transfer is. If you guys have seen this, let me know. I don't really have to explain anything about The Shining. Now, here is a very big box, big movie. This is one I heard about, listening to Planet CHH one night. Christian Hannah Horror on a live stream. I was at work. He was talking about this movie that was on Netflix, and it was so good. It was like a found footage deal where like these news reporters in England like faked like a ghost hunt or something, and people in England thought it was real, and he said they got a release coming up, and I just had to pick this one up, and that is Ghostwatch. It sounds like something I like. I'm not a big fan of like Paranormal Activity, though I love the Blair Witch, so I think it's kind of like an acquired taste on like found footage kind of stuff. But look at this packaging on this thing right here. This is a beast. So I don't know even what we got in here. It looks like got the Blu-ray right here, but looks like a booklet, but I don't know what this is. I could probably read, but I don't know how. So, I don't know. I'm excited to check this out. Like I said, apparently this had like real broadcasters from like a British newscast star in it, and then they aired it like one night, and people thought it was real because it had the real news reporters in there. So, that seems kind of fun. Here is probably the one I'm second most excited for. This is Terrifier 2. Now, you know, the whole internet horror world is talking about this one. The first one was brutal. We get to see a woman get hung upside down and get cut from the vagina all the way down through her fucking head. You know, vertically, she's cut up. So, that's pretty cool. There's been so many cool releases of this, and I've heard a lot of people say, get the 4K, get the 4K, but this is like the Amazon Collector's Edition, beautiful artwork. I know a lot of people don't care for this type of artwork. They do this a lot with like Scream Factory, or even Arrow for that matter. Lots of boutique labels where they do like a kind of a cartoonish kind of reimagining of the artwork. They want the theatrical artwork, but a lot of times they'll have reversible slips, and they have that. So I like to have this type of artwork on the slip, and then reverse to my theatrical stuff on the inside. But regardless, Art the Clown, hopefully he becomes the horror icon we need, because this film, when it came out in theaters, guys, you know, had a $200,000 budget and ended up doing millions and millions of dollars. So love that for horror and independent filmmaking. All right, 2 left. So here is one. To be quite honest, guys, I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. I know my mom really liked this movie. My sister really liked this movie. I watched it a million times. Maybe it's because it's from like a woman's perspective and I didn't get it when I was younger. I'll have to give it a rewatch, especially in 4K. I'd never had it on Blu-ray or DVD, so that is Carrie, the new Scream Factory 4K Steelbook. And to be quite honest, kind of in the same sense of The Shining, I feel like, especially if I'm going to give you guys a tour of my whole horror collection tomorrow, how could I not have Carrie, or The Shining for that matter, on my shelf? So I'm going to have to check this out. This is, I believe, 3 discs. Tons and tons of special features. But that cover art alone, I know a lot of people like the basic 4K cover art, but man, that's one thing I will say. Though I'm not a big fan of this movie, probably a better reason to rewatch it. The image of Carrie covered in blood in a prom dress walking out is something any horror fan can remember vividly. Like, it's so iconic. So, man, I'm talking this up like I'm, you know, because I'm not, you know, preaching to watch a lot of the shit, you know, to each your own. I'm just saying what I got, guys. But the more I talk about this, the more I'm thinking I might have to throw this on tonight. And last but not least, now this was the big thing. I lied when I said The Shining was the only thing I got for Christmas. So this was the only other thing I asked for, because I already own 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, and the price, about $40 when it was on sale. I'm like, you know, I don't like double dipping too much, but I said, you know, if you can get me anyone, get me The Shining and this. This is Demons 1 and 2 on 4K. Now this is the belle of the ball. Man, I absolutely love these movies. 2 of the first reviews I ever did on this channel, I think the first review I ever did was actually Demons Part 1. And I also did a Demons Part 2. They were 20-minute reviews where every other sentence I went, But I love them, man. You guys, I can't wait to see these on 4K. There's something about, like, Italian films on 4K. Because they use a lot of bright colors. You know, the blood alone, the blood is way brighter in Italian movies than American movies. So I'm so excited to pick this up. This was like a situation where it's like, well, I don't want to spend the money to upgrade, but if someone wants to gift me something, just, you know, grab me this, and I'll love the hell out of it. I've been meaning to watch this. I'm so excited. Man, yeah. This demon on the front, you know, the traditional cover, I've mentioned it before, was like the reason I never rented this movie as a kid. We had one hard shell horror movie at Videotron, in a small town in Michigan, back in the day when I was a little kid, and I would always look at that VHS tape and just that look at that demon. It was so scary. I just always stayed away from it. I never rented it. I never seen it until I was older. And when I did, I fell in love with these movies. These two might be my favorite Italian horror movies. That and Suspiria, probably. And a couple cool things that come inside of this. Well, first of all, it has reversible slip. Oh, it doesn't have the, I thought it had like the evil demon face on there, but it doesn't. I forgot, but these little bonus things in here I thought were pretty cool. So we got an invitation to Sally's birthday party, which is where all the mayhem starts in the apartment complex in part 2. And what I think is the coolest, because part 1 is clearly better than part 2, I have a ticket. It says the Metro Pod. I feel like a fanboy now. I can't even pronounce the ticket. The theater for one of the favorite Italian films I have. Look at that. I got the ticket. I got the goddamn ticket, man. I'm bad at that shit, man. I don't know how some of you guys remember every actor's name, every director's name. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. But also, on top of that, I got a couple books I want to show you guys. I know this ain't a book channel, right? Oh, I said my real name. Whoopsies. You guys find it weird I always say, like, Killer Pizza here? My friend makes fun of me. He's like, you're not Killer Pizza. I go, yeah. I've just said it for so long at this point. I gotta keep saying it, you know, continuity, but I got 3 books also, so excited to check these out. So this is the new Quentin Tarantino book. Very excited to read this. I'm not the biggest fan of Quentin Tarantino. I just think he does. I do like Quentin Tarantino. I'm just, you know how it is with fans of him. You're either like a big fan or just a casual fan, and I think he has a really interesting perspective on filmmaking. I think he's done some of the greatest films of all time. He's one of the best filmmakers of my lifetime. And, yeah, just kind of interested to see what he has to say. And then we got The Toxic Avenger. All you need to know about filmmaking I learned from The Toxic Avenger by Lloyd Kaufman. Once again, I'm actually not the biggest fan of Trauma, but kind of the same thing relates. With Quentin Tarantino. Did I really just compare Lloyd Kaufman and Quentin Tarantino? but he just has a different perspective on how to make films, and I'm just interested in that. And last one is Confessions of a Puppet Master by Charles Band. Now, once again, this was kind of suggested to me from watching Christian Hannah Horror on Planet CHH. He was saying, like, you got to read the book. I love the podcast with Charles Band, but I feel like he kind of talks too much. He doesn't let his guests talk. It's like the first time I tried to listen to the Ric Flair podcast, he just kept cutting off his guests. But regardless, Charles Band is an absolute legend. So honestly, though you can relate Charles Band to Lloyd Kaufman a little more than you can Quentin Tarantino, I think these are 3 filmmakers that are very polarizing and worth reading about. I don't know. I dabbled in filmmaking when I was younger, and I got some friends who are into the same shit, and I think eventually I'm going to try to dabble into it again and try to make something happen. So I'm trying to pick the brains and, you know, find out what works and what doesn't. But anyways, yeah, that's my whole collection. Not my whole collection. Damn it. I've been flubbing this whole video, guys. Anyways, like I was saying, I'm going to put out a complete horror movie collection video tomorrow. This is everything on my shelf. I have over 500 Blu-ray titles easily. I could count, but I don't know how to read. I don't know how to count. I went to public schools. But anyways, I just wanted to get this little update out there for people that watch these more short form, though I'm going on 20 minutes. Either way, be sure to check out my video tomorrow if you want to see my whole collection. If there's anything I got here you want me to review, let me know in the comments. If there's anything you think I should pick up, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz if you want. Blood Gut Score. I'll check you next time.